local residents have a new opportunity to serve and to get to know the Attleboro community. The United Way of Greater Attleboro Taunton is looking for volunteers to participate in the United Way Community Allocation Panels. The panels would help the United Way continue its mission serving the community by deciding what programs within the community will receive funding from the organization this year. DoubleACS spoke with President Dianne Richardson to find out more about the United Way and how it strives to serve the community.
Hi, my name is Dianne Richardson. I'm the president of the United Way of Greater Attleboro Taunton. And here at the United Way, our role is to be a primary fundraiser, community capacity builder, and convener to really help improve the quality of lives for people that work, live, and visit all of our communities. One of the things that United Way is historically most well known for is our fundraising effort. So what we do is we raise the money. We do that predominantly in our communities through workplace campaigns. We'll go into businesses and companies and we'll talk about the work that we do and how their donations make a positive community impact in our areas. And people will support our work. So once we raise the dollars, the other most well-known component of what United Way does is disperse those dollars to the communities. So how do we take the funds that we raise and efficiently and equitably invest them and reinvest them back into the community in a way that really makes a difference and matters. Every several years we will engage in a pretty thorough community needs assessment, and that needs assessment will help us identify what is most prevalent in our communities, what those issues are that may or may not be relevant to any other community or United Way in the Commonwealth. And then we kind of prioritize what programs we're going to fund. And then what we do is we do a comprehensive effort in the community to really recruit volunteers to come in and help us lead this process. CAP stands for Community Allocation Panels. The panels of volunteers that actually make the decisions are led by a board of director. So there'll be one board of director and a few volunteers that will be assigned the majority of the requests that came in. So we'll split them up. We allocate all of the applications out, and then the board of directors and the CAP panel, which is the Community Allocation Panel, will read through their funding proposals, will conduct site visits, will listen to the program presentations, and ultimately come back together and make the ultimate decisions on who gets funding and how much that funding should be. Unfortunately, over the many years, as you can imagine, the needs and the demand for assistance and support and grants has increased beyond the dollars that we're able to raise. Otherwise, it would be very easy for us to be able to meet everybody's grant requests. We would simply probably just funnel the money right over. But what our process does is once we've vetted all of the programs through the CAP process, then we're able to say that we've fairly reinvested in the community. All of our allocations are directed at supporting particular programs, not organizations as a whole. So it's a lot more work to really need to decide which programs should merit that, what would those outcomes be, how would those outcomes help to align with what United Way's goals are. Our goals nationally are in the areas of health, education, and income. We are looking for programs that are going to help us meet those goals. So it makes a lot of sense for us to have a thorough, vetted process, and we need a lot of volunteers to help us make that successful and make that possible. The only requirements we would have is that you have a willingness to see the process through. We generally start recruiting in December. January we kick off the allocation process, with letters of intent from the community. And then we put our panels together. The applications are due in February. The panels start convening in February and do the bulk of their work in February and March. And hopefully by April we have a recommendation that goes to our board. And in May we notify the partner agencies whether they received a grant award or not. So it sounds like a big commitment. It is a short-term commitment, but it's intensive over a couple of months. It does require a willingness to be part of a panel, to go to the organizations, to read through their allocation proposal. And all I'd say is you don't need any particular skills or experience. You just have to have a willingness to have a little bit of time. And that's flexible. You can arrange that with your group members, and a willingness to give back. And that's all we ask for. Generally, when people serve, they're so impressed. They get another side to the community that they really didn't know about. They have an opportunity to learn how nonprofits work and what it is that those programs do to help really meet their mission statements. And generally, they come back. Oftentimes, anyone that served comes back year after year, just feeling very satisfied that they've made a difference and they've positively contributed. If anyone is interested in serving on a CAP panel now or in the future, I would have you contact Melissa Van Horn. She is our Community Impact Coordinator. Her phone number is 508-222-2337, and she's extension 106. Or she can be reached via email at Melissa, MELISSA, at the letters U, W, G as in George, A, T as in Tom.org, which stands for United Way, Greater Attleboro, Taunton.org, and let her know. And we'll let you know whether or not we have enough volunteers to serve for this year, or if people are willing to learn and serve in future years. That would be great too. The success of United Way is truly the foundation of our work, and that is really the people that live and work in our communities. We feel that our donors, our volunteers, and our supporters are the most generous and charitable really around. And if it wasn't for people willing to lend a hand and get involved, or spare a dollar or any change that they could to really help this organization and all of the agencies and programs we support, I don't know where the communities would be today if it wasn't for individuals like that. So I would encourage anyone that has the time or has the interest to get in touch with us, and we'd love to have you help.